Yeah, is that better? And then there was the time that the YouTube host tried to broadcast for the first 5 minutes without his microphone turned on. Good times. Okay, I'm going to make the rewind noise. It's a little better. Still no? Okay. Right. Let's make the rewind noise. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Triviamatic Happy Hour. I'm your host, Richard Sue. Start your app. If it asks you for a code, enter 186395. Look, let's just get started. And because there's usually lots of time to kill while we read questions, I'll just start reading and then I can fill you in on all the other details later. All right. Round one, we always start with history and mystery. It's May 17th, and here are 8 questions about historical events that have occurred on May 17th of years gone by. This is a multiple choice round. Here is question 1. On this day, the Supreme Court handed down a unanimous decision in 1954 in the case of Brown versus Board of Education of what Kansas City? All right, U.S. Supreme Court handed down a unanimous decision on this day in 1954 in the case of Brown versus Board of Education of what Kansas City? It's going to be one of these choices. Rounds 1, 2, and 3 will all be structured in this manner. Question, choice of 4. There's usually somewhere between 45 seconds and a minute for you to get your answer in. Then I'll read the answer. Of course, we're talking about the landmark Brown versus Board of Education, and it was versus Topeka, Kansas. The Supremes found that the segregation rule violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. In other words, they had to stop in the name of love. Here is your leaderboard. We'll get back to the leaderboard pretty soon. Question 2. Defying Mitt Romney, on this day in 2004, the first legal same-sex marriage in the United States were performed in which state? Defying Governor Mitt Romney, on this day in 2004, the first legal same-sex marriages, plural, my mistake, in the United States were performed in what state? So as you chew on that, and I'm sure you all seem like a smart bunch, you probably have this, tonight, as you know, if you've seen me host before, instead of taking tips for all my hard work that I've put into not turning the microphone on, I collect donations, or I ask you to donate to the charity of the evening, which tonight is the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. More about them in a minute. Time is up on question 2. Of course, Mitt Romney was the governor of Massachusetts. Very good. All right, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard. We're going to catch up a little bit. Who dis on top? 95, Benedict Cumberbatch. 95, Tide. I am the Lorax. 90, Nakama. 87, Slippery Slip. 86, still anyone's game. Let's move on to question 3. On this day in 1977, Nolan Bushnell opened the first of what food and fun chain that inspired the Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare games? Nolan Bushnell founded this food and fun chain in 1977. I know it well. I would hasten to say anyone who has young kids will know this well. I am going to try something new on a Sunday night. I'm going for 100% everybody gets all the questions right. And, in a lot of trivia games, they disappear answers as the clock ticks down. You still get points, but you get significantly less points. So I'm going to maybe start throwing out hints about halfway through the time ticker. All right, of course, I am talking about Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese with the giant animatronic mice that scare young children so that they can't move, and you are stuck carrying home 2 large, nasty cheese pizzas. Leaderboard. Everyone get that one right? Oh, I love it. I love it. We got 17 players. Remember, everyone, the goal is all green all the time. Reach for an answer, that's fine. But if you genuinely don't know, I'm going to pull you along in the boat. All right, question 4. Happy birthday to Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, quarterback of what NFC team that forced the Patriots to overtime in Super Bowl LI 49? No, 51. Rich, come on. LI 51. So, force the Patriots to overtime is, putting it politely, if you call blowing a 28-3 lead in the third quarter forcing, is all I'm saying. Happy birthday, Matty Ice, whose head has never been the same since he forced the Patriots to overtime in Super Bowl 51. Oh, boy. All right. First sports ball question of the night. Love it. That's time. Of course, we are talking about the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan became the first $30 million a year quarterback in 2018. And Aaron Rodgers quickly became the second. Leaderboard. Lots of greens. Lots of greens. Lots of greens. That's okay. It's good. 12 through 17 looks like a Christmas decoration. Green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red. That fills me with hope. So, I dig it. All right, let's move on to question 5. Paul de Chamédé Sieur de Maisonneuve founded Fort Ville-Marie along the St. Lawrence River on this day in 1642, a village that would one day become what Canadian city? Paul de Chamédé Sieur de Maisonneuve was a great explorer, but not a good trapper, because he would meet people along the St. Lawrence River, and they would say, "Hi, my name is Fred. What's your name?" And he would say, "Paul de Chamédé Sieur de Maisonneuve," and before you know it, they had run off with his pelts. True story. Anyway, founded Fort Ville-Marie along the St. Lawrence River on this day in 1642. And that village would grow up to become the major city known as Montreal. Montreal, of course, getting its name from the highest peak in the city, Montreal. Leaderboard, leaderboard, leaderboard. There we go. Question 6. Here we go. Oh my! The first televised sporting event happened on this day in 1939 with the Columbia Lions facing off against which Ivy League Tigers? Lion face. Tiger face. Lion face. Tiger face. Go through your knowledge of Ivy League teams. Let's see. Rule out the people that just use straight up colors or biblical references. That's like half the Ivy League right there. Let's see. People that live in Pennsylvania are probably out. Yeah. Okay. We are talking about the Princeton Tigers. The Princeton Tigers. The Ritz-Carlton hosted the first televised fashion show on the very same day. Pretty fancy day in 1939. All right. Leaderboard. Leaderboard. Benedict Cumberbatch out in front. Crudivore Widdershanks. Doesn't show me the whole thing. I'm going with Crudivore Widdershanks. In second. Who dis in third? Garrus Vakarian. Welcome back. In fourth. The Hama. In fifth place, that's your top 5. 6, Slippery Slope. 7, Ace. Acetation Agent. I'm going with that. In 7th, I Am the Lorax. 8th, Condescending. 9th, And Tweedle Beetle Battle, that is your top 10. Let's move on to question 7. Question 7. Happy birthday, Trent Reznor, founder of what alt-rock group that has stayed edgy and weird since 1888? Gave rise to a lot of young males thrashing about in bars and drinking lots of beer and wearing all black for no apparent reason. Back to the tonight's charity. Thurgood Marshall College Fund is based in outside of Baltimore, Maryland, and was one of the sponsors of last night's mass video commencement featuring the Obamas and LeBron James and others. Anyway, they help people who need help fulfilling the dream of college. So if you are so inclined, please donate tcmf.org/online-gift. All right. Trent Reznor, of course, the frontman of 9 Inch Nails. 9 Inch Nails. Did not know that he did the soundtrack for Social Network. How about that? All right. Leaderboard. Crudivore, Wittershanks, Benedict Cumberbatch, Garrus Vakarian, Hudis, Nakama, your top 5. On to the last question of round 1, question 8. Police in Los Angeles raided the headquarters of what militant group that once abducted Patty Hearst on this day in 1974? Super wackadoodle. Yep, they abducted publishing heiress Patty Hearst on this day in 1974. What militant group based in Los Angeles? One of these 4. While it's tempting, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm just that little voice in your head that tells you not to make poor decisions while sitting on front of a live YouTube mic, he is working overtime this week. We are talking about the Symbionese Liberation Army, and that is the end of round 1. Once again, the hidden keyboard on the table below. Crudivore Wittershanks in first place. Benedict Cumberbatch in second. Nakama in third. Who Dis in fourth place. I am the Lorax. That is your top 5. Condescending Tweedle Beetle Battle. Garrus Vakarian, Skedaddle Mumpsaboop, and Acetation Agent, your top 10. Slippery Slip, JMH, Crosswordies, Shenanigans, and Game Show Craig, one of the excellent hosts here at Triviamatic. That is 11 through 15. Nicole, though 8, Dave's not here, and Christmas John Chinesky, who, of course, is the knower of all things and the keeper of the Triviamatic chat, here just to make sure everything is still working. Let's move on around to The Doors. Is your mojo rising? Answer these questions about French doors, sliding doors, saloon doors, and doors of all kinds. This is our second multiple choice round. Question 1. The bright red door at Hook and Ladder 8 in Manhattan's Tribeca neighborhood has become a mecca for film buffs thanks to its appearance in what 1984 film? The bright red door of Hook and Ladder Company 8 in Tribeca has become a mecca for film buffs thanks to its appearance in what 1984 film? Starring an ensemble cast of multiple Saturday Night Live alumni, and was remade with all female leads a couple years ago. All right, we of course are looking for Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters. There's the red door of Hook and Ladder 8 in Tribeca. Here we go. Your top 3: Crudivore Wittershanks, Benedict Cumberbatch, Nakama. Rounding out the top 5: Hudis, and I am the Lorax. Question 2. Protestant thinker Martin Luther nailed, his famous 95 Theses on the door of All Saints Church in what German town where Luther was a professor? It's actually a fascinating study of how Luther published responses to his theses. He actually, in the process of answering the theses, wrote them in German instead of Latin, which of course at the time was the language of scholarship. But writing them in German made him essentially the first viral author, because everyone started buying his responses. Super interesting. All right, as time runs down, he was aided, of course, in his publishing mainly by the printing presses of Wittenberg, Germany. The official title of the thesis, of course, the Disputation on the Power and Efficacy of Indulgences. Take a look at the leaderboard. Nakama, Benedict Cumberbatch, Crew DeVore, Widdershanks, 1, 2, 3. Who dis for? Kant descending in fifth. Let's move on to the next question. Question 3. The iconic glossy black door of number 10 Downing Street in London leads to the residence of what person? And as some of you, I think, are going to have some extra time, I urge you all to hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Now, if you've watched me host before, you know that I am fairly fond of my large pint is a quart jar of gin and tonic. But since I hosted yesterday's pre-graduation edition, I reenacted one of my old college traditions, which was, of course, the morning of graduation. Everybody piled into a bar on Route 1 at the University of Maryland for what was known as Elbow Room. Of course, you can't do that socially distancing now, so I drank a lot of beer in my shower stall, and that didn't work out great. It worked out exactly the way you'd expect it to. All right, we are, of course, are talking about the home of the Prime Minister. When they say number 10 and Downing Street in the UK, they are talking about the same gang. Sherlock Holmes, of course, 221B Baker. Mayor of London lives in the Mayor of London mansion. And Prince Charles lives in Clarence House. All right, on to question 4. The long peninsula of Door County in Wisconsin separates the main waters of Lake Michigan from what colorful body of water? Let's check in on the chat. What is the name of the number 10 cat again? Oh, I don't remember. That's a good one. All right. As we're looking for question 4, the long peninsula of Door County in Wisconsin separates the main waters of Lake Michigan from what colorful body of water? I used to be a performer. There is a summertime festival near this body of water. And if you go in the summertime, you need to make sure you bring bug spray because the mosquitoes are size of eggplants. Swear to God, I think I got picked off the ground. Where was that? That would, of course, be in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Quick scan of the leaderboard. Nakama in first place and Benedict Cumberbatch in second, both having broke the 500 barrier. Congratulations. Who dis? Number 3, Kant descending in fourth. Crew DeVore, Widdershanks, your top 5. All right. We are buzzing through round 2. Let's move on to question 5. The doors of Florence's Baptistery by Lorenzo Giliberti, anointed by Michelangelo as the Gates of Paradise, are remarkable because they present one of the earliest known uses of what Renaissance art innovation? Super interesting. As a kid, I suffered from long arm syndrome. Of course, that's the syndrome that you get when your parents drag you through an art museum by one hand. It's taken me years and years and years, but they're pretty much about the same now. So, The Doors of Florence's Baptistery by Lorenzo Ghiberti, anointed by Michelangelo as the Gates of Paradise, are remarkable because they present one of the earliest known uses of what? Renaissance art innovation. And we are looking for linear perspective. Linear perspective. Just fascinating for an engraving, right? Linear perspective is thought to have been developed by the Italian architect Filippo Brunelleschi in 1415. All right. In first place, Nakama, Crudifor Whittershanks in second, condescending third place. Who Dis and Benedict Cumberbatch round out the top 5. All right. On to question 6. The Doors took the band's name from the book The Doors of Perception by what author of Chrome Yellow and Brave New World? The Doors took their band name from the book The Doors of Perception by what author of Chrome Yellow and Brave New World? Brave New World, of course, a book about a scary future. Many authors on this list have written books about scary futures. Orwell's, of course, had a date in the title. Kesey, actually don't know all that well. All right. We are looking for Aldous Huxley. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. Turns out The Doors of Perception is about Huxley's experience while under the influence of mescaline. Fun stuff. Nakama, first member of the 600 Club, well done. Crudifor Whittershanks, 582, Hot Pursuit. Condescending, Who Dis, Benedict Cumberbatch, your top 5. On to question 7. The Raven, who taps at the chamber door of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, shows up to mock the speaker about his lost love, who has what name? My favorite version of The Raven of all time is the one that The Simpsons did on Treehouse of Horror, where Bart was the Raven, Homer was, of course, the man, and it was narrated by James Earl Jones. It's actually quite spectacular. So, yeah. Old fans of The Simpsons, go back and look it up. New fans of The Simpsons, go back and look it up. I think it's one of the very early Treehouse of Horror series. All right, time is up. We are looking for, of course, Lenore. Lenore, my love, quoth the Raven, nevermore. Leaders after 7. Let's get right to round. The last question of round 2. Question 8. All right, question 8. One door conceals a brand new car. The other 2 doors conceal goats. After picking door number 1, door number 2 is opened, revealing a goat. Do you stick with door number 1 or switch to door number 3? This logic problem is named for what original host of the TV show Let's Make a Deal? I love this math problem. I actually spent a good hour having my brothers-in-law, who are both much smarter than me. Well, I have 3 brothers-in-law. They're all smarter than me. Explain to me the math behind this problem, which we will get to. Actually, since time is counting down, we'll get to it now. Your original choice, you pick a door, it's 33%, right? The host is going to show you a door that definitively has a goat. He has effectively zeroed the possibility that of that choice. So 1/3, 0, the probability must add up to 1. So the remaining choice is 2/3 that you win the car. So you always switch. And that's called the Monty Hall problem. Boom. That is the end of round 2. Your leaders after 2 rounds, Nakama, 697, just short of 700, but just gonna get there in the next question. Crudivar, Widowshanks, Condescending, Who Dis, Benedict Cumberbatch, your top 5, Tweedle Beetle Battle, 6, I Am the Lorax, 7th, Acetation Agent, JMH, and Garrus Vicarian, all well within striking distance, 6 through 10. Skedaddle Mumsy, Shenanigan Funny, Game Show Craig, Crossword Ease, Dave's Not Here, 11 through 15. Slippery Slope, 16. Nicole, 17. Ice Pirate, 18. Everybody doing a great job. Let's move on to round 3. Round 3, People Are Strange. Ain't that the understatement of the year? People are strange. When you're a stranger, answer these 8 questions about the strangest things we could think of. This is the last of our multiple choice rounds. Question 1. What sibling duo are the creators and executive producers of the hit Netflix show Stranger Things? Stranger Things. Sibling duo are the creators and executive producers. So this says the Wachowski sisters, which I had forgotten that the other Wachowski transitioned. So first they were brothers, then they were brother-sister, and now they're sisters. So fascinating. The Coen brothers are still the Coen brothers, as far as I know. All right. Interesting things about Hollywood Lives. All right. Of course, we are looking for the answer. The Duffer Brothers. The Duffer Brothers pitched the answer, Stranger Things, to 15 networks before finally settling on Netflix. Your leaderboard looks like this. Nakama, Crudivore, Who Dis, 1, 2, 3, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Condescending, your top 5. All right, here we go. Question 2, round 3. Strange, along with Up, Down, Bottom, Top, and Charm, is one of 6 flavors of what subatomic particle? I should know this. I took some of these physics classes multiple times. Strange, along with Up, Down, Bottom, Top, and Charm, is one of the 6 flavors of what subatomic particle? I love the name Higgs boson, because you know that somewhere there is a guy on a ship who is a boson named Higgs, and he's like, what? Higgs boson. Time's up. We are looking for quark. 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 Fun to say, even more fun to study. Leaderboard, Nakama, Crudivore, Rittersham, Who Dis, Benedict Cumberbatch, Condescending, top 5, Cetacean Agent, JMH, Tweedle Beetle Battle, Garrus Vicarian, and I Am the Lorax rounds out your top 10. All right, here we go. Question 3, Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange returns in the upcoming Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in what alliterative sequel scheduled for release in 2022 if we are lucky? There are lots of great choices here. Only one of them is correct. They're all alliterative, and they all point to Doctor Strange as a spectacular narcissist. What else could we have? Doctor Strange in the Dungeon of Doom. Doctor Strange in the... Yeah, we'll come up with some more later. All right, here we go. The next movie, Doctor Strange 2, Electric Boogaloo, of course, is going to be called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. See you then, Stephen. Your leaderboard, Krudivore, Nakama, and Condescending 1, 2, 3. Benedict Cumberbatch in 4th, Who Dis in 5th. All right, question 4. What jazz singer recorded the first and most famous version of Abel Mirapol's protest song Strange Fruit in 1939? What jazz singer recorded the first and most famous version of Abel Mirapol's protest song Strange Fruit in 1939? Strange Fruit. No, that was that's Strange Brew. It was Bob and Doug McKenzie, which came up today because I was watching A Little Shop of Horrors on Netflix. A movie, of course, that stars Doug McKenzie, Rick Moranis, as the titular Seymour Krelborn. Titular Seymour Krelborn. No, just Seymour Krelborn. Little Shop of Horrors, the flower shop. All right. Time is up on question 4. We are looking for Billie Holiday. And welcome to Spinny App Sunday. We made it to the 3rd round before we got the spins. So that's good. Anyway, Billie Holiday, the anti-racism standard, has also been recorded by Nina Simone, UB40, and Jeff Buckley. And here is the leaderboard. Poof. Told you. No problems. All right, on to question 5. The Strange Case of ... are the first 4 words in the full title of what classic Gothic novel? Of course, when you say a novel is Gothic, you presume that it is a horror novel. So, The Strange Case of ... are the first 4 words in the full title of what classic Gothic novel? The Strange Case of Richard reaching behind himself for his bottle of water. Don't forget to hydrate. It's very, very important. Doctors say the 6 to 8 servings of water a day is overblown, possibly, but the reminder is drink water. It is important. As is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Leaderboard, Krudivore, Nakama, Kant, Benedict, Who Dis, top 5. We got a tight game going here. I love it. Moving on to question 6. More literature. The novel Stranger in a Strange Land, about a Martian-born human who comes to Earth for the first time, was written by what giant of the science fiction genre? It is one of these 4 giants. They are all massive. Absolutely Brobignagian. Huge. Brobignagian, of course, from Gulliver's Travels. It was not written by any of these 4 dudes. Disappear the graphics. You can see my World Series t-shirt. I miss sports ball. It is what it is. All right, Stranger in a Strange Land is, of course, Robert A. Heinlein. Asimov is Foundation. Frank Herbert is Dune. And Arthur C. Clarke is 2001, among others. Leaderboard, lots of green. Krudivore, Nakama, Condescending, 1, 2, 3. Cetacean Agent, Garrus Vicarian, your top 5. Still anybody's game. Fighting for bragging rights, no prizes. Question 7. The 2005 VH1 reality show Love is Strange documented the romance between actress Brigitte Nielsen and what musician? Love is Strange documented the romance between actress Brigitte Nielsen and what musician? Brigitte Nielsen, Red Sonja. And that chick from Beverly Hills Cop 2. Brigitte Nielsen. 2005 VH1 reality series Love is Strange. Documented the romance between actress Brigitte Nielsen and what musician? Yeah. We're, of course, talking about the clock wearer, Flava Flav. Flava Flav. Sparks flew between the couple earlier while filming This Real Life, and they are entirely responsible for us giving rise to the show Flavor of Love. So thanks for that. All right, Crudivore and Comma Condescending 1, 2, 3, a Cetacean Agent, and Garrus Vicarian 4, 5. Let us move on to question 8, the last question in this round. The phrase stranger than fiction originated in Lord Byron's 1824 poem about what famous womanizer? Stranger than fiction originated in Lord Byron's 1824 poem about what famous womanizer? Pygmalion a womanizer? I don't think so. Marquis de Sade. Interesting. Don't think he had a lot of... Well, he might have. Could be. Okay, time running down on this one. The answer we're looking for is Don Juan. Don Juan. He says, "'Tis strange, but true, for truth is always strange. Stranger than fiction." And that is the end of round 3. Your leaderboard, Nakama, 963, Crudivore Wittersham, right behind. A Cetacean Agent, 3rd. JMH, 4th. Garrus Vicarian rounds out the top 5. Threatening to break 900, Benedict Cumberbatch, Who Dis, Condescending, I Am the Lorax, and Skedaddle Mumps. In 11th, Tweedlebeetle Battle Game Show, Craig in 12, Shenanigans, Crossword Ease, and Dave's Not Here, rounding out the 15, Slippery Slope, Nicole Tho, and Ice Pirate, 16, 17, 18, and Christmas John in 19th. All right, let's move on to round 4, the Pick 3 round. For those of you that are not familiar with the Pick 3 round, this is a little different. Instead of asking questions, I'll give you a category that you must select 3 items on the screen that fit the category. You'll receive full points for 3 correct answers, half for 2 correct answers, and no points for 1 correct answer, because with 5 choices and 3 guesses, you're gonna get 1. All right, here we go. Which 3 things belong in the following set of pork products? We are looking for 3 out of 5 of the items on this list that are pork products. Is there pork in that? Is there pork in that? Once again, while you're chewing this over in your brain, tonight's charity is the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. If you are so inclined, donations in lieu of tips to tcmf.org/online-gift. Pork products. Now, we mean products that inherently have pork on them, not the hipster restaurant thing where they say bacon taste makes everything taste better, which, while technically true, is not what we are going through here. We are looking for, of course, gammon, crackling, and speck. Ciabatta is bread, and gazpacho is soup. Leaderboard, leaderboard, leaderboard. Lots and lots of green. If you got partial credit, if you look on the leaderboard and you have yellow next to your name, that is what that means. Nakama, first member of the 1000 Club. Crudivore, right behind. Cetacean Agent, also right behind. 965, that's your top three. Garrus Vicarian, JMH, 4 and 5. Here we go with question 2. We are looking for 3 of the 5 shades of MAC matte lipstick. Shades of matte. Shades of MAC matte lipstick. Yeah, not a lipstick guy, not a shampoo guy, not a conditioner guy. Can tell you all about razor blades, but no, not that stuff. And computer video cards. I can tell you about computer video cards. All right, do you place them on your head? You do not. All right, as the timer winds down on MAC matte lipstick, we are looking for Breathing Fire, Candy Yum Yum, and Sin. Both Rihanna and Sia have been MAC Viva Glam spokespersons. Whoops! Skipped it. Folder names on Microsoft Outlook. My bad. You didn't want to see the leaderboard anyway. Folder names in Microsoft Outlook. My apologies. I fast-fingered right through the leaderboard. Hey, it happens. I have fat fingers. Folder names in Microsoft Outlook. I have a folder in my Outlook entitled Hate Mail I Send to Microsoft's Dev Team. That's true. All right, as this winds down, of course, all the replies come back to my inbox and sent items and conversation history. All right. Slow click on the leaderboard. Nakama 1039, Crudivore, and a Cetacean Agent, now a new member of the 1000 Point Club. Congratulations. Garrus Vicarian and JMH. That's your top 5. All right. On to question 4 with a very careful press of my finger. We are looking for 3 of 5 typical incandescent light bulb wattages. Typical incandescent light bulb wattages. You can take that to mean mass marketed. You are likely to find wattages of these amounts in stores. And it looks like we have 2 75 watters. Interesting. Okay. We'll make a note. Two 75 watters. John, I think I'll give this one to them. Both of the 75s are correct because one of them should be 60. So let me give that to you. All right, time is up. Of course, 75 and 60 are both on the list, along with 100. Wow, look at that. 100, 75, 75. Yeah. Of course, the Trump administration rolled back the phase out of incandescent light bulbs just this year. Thanks for that. All right, leaderboard. Yeah, lots of yellow. What can I tell you? All right, let's just move on to question 5. Question 5, 2020 Atlantic hurricane names. Question 5, 2020 Atlantic hurricane names. As named by the National Hurricane Center, part of the National Weather Service. Do not fall for the Weather Channel's bogus naming convention where they literally attach names to anything. There is a reason the National Weather Service names hurricanes, so they keep track of them. So, as you know, they go through the alphabet every year, and then they go back to the beginning of the alphabet if they go A through Z, There are typically dozens of hurricanes every year. So 2020 Atlantic hurricane names include Dolly, Gonzalo, and Teddy. All right. Leaderboard. Nakama, 1072. Crudivore, 1065. Cetacean, Garrus Vicarian, and JMH, your top 5. All right. Question 6. We are looking for 3 of 5 television series created by Greg Daniels. Greg Daniels. 3 of 5 of the TV series created by Greg Daniels, who, of course, you will recognize his work from King of the Hill and the movie Office Space. So, Greg Daniels, the highly prolific Greg Daniels. I'm sure everyone's been watching lots and lots of television. We've been binging Netflix series here. We're actually watching another Greg Daniels tie-in. No, it wasn't Greg Daniels. Yeah, forget it. All right, time is up. We are looking for Parks and Recreation, The Office, and the upcoming Space Force. The Good Place, of course, is Michael Schur, who worked with Greg Daniels on Parks and Rec. Master of None is Aziz Ansari, and that Yang fellow. And here is your leaderboard. Crudivore in the top spot for Nakama. In second, Cetacean in third. Garrus Vicarian, JMH. Your top 5, Benedict Cumberbatch, Who Dis, Condescending, I Am the Lorax, and Skedaddle. That's your top 10. All right. Let's stick with popular culture media. Question 7. One-word films starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. One-word films. Dwayne Johnson, of course, is a major star of television and film. Mostly film. But we are looking for the one-word films starring The Rock. Odd that one of these films wasn't called Cooking. Hydrotary species, me. All right, one-word films starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, son of the legendary wrestler Rocky Johnson. All right, we're looking for Rampage, Skyscraper, and Baywatch, the Baywatch reboot. All right. Of course, The Rock was originally signed by the World Wrestling Federation, then, now WWE, under the name Flex Kavana. Leaderboard, Crudivore Wittersham, 1119. Nakama, 1090. Garrus Vicarian, 1082. Close behind, Cetacean, 1081. JMH, 1071. Your top 5, Benedict Cumberbatch, 6. Who Dis, Condescending, I Am the Lorax, and Tweedlebeetle Battle. Your top 10. Here we go to the last question of round 4. We are looking for actual breakfast cereals, past and present. Actual breakfast cereals. And they say they don't market sugar food to children. The nerve. How dumb do you think we are? 100% marketed to children. All right. Actual breakfast cereals, past and present. See what you got. Here's the clue. Fluty cereal or flakes. All right. Actual breakfast cereals include C-3POs, Quaker O's, and DreamWorks Shrek Ogre O's. Seriously, the next person that tells me they don't market food to children gets punched in the gob. That is the end of round 4. Your leaderboard: Crudivore, Riddersham, Nakama, Cetacean Agent, JMH, and Garrus Vicarian. Your top 5: Benedict Cumberbatch, Who Dis Condescending, I Am the Lorax, and Tweedle Beetle Battle, 6 through 10. Skedaddle, Game Show Craig, Shenanigan, Crossword Ease, Slippery Slope, up to 15. Dave's Not Here, Nicole Tho, Ice Pirate, 16, 17, 18, and John, of course, is keeping the chat because he's just that good a guy. All right, we are on to the last round of the evening, the Answer Fast question. Now, here's how this works. Just to recap, because everyone can use a recap, the faster you answer, the more points you get. But you should guess carefully. Once you've typed in and submitted your answer, you are locked into the answer and the points. And if you get it wrong, you get 0. So, speed counts. John is right now putting in helpful tips in the chat. Spelling counts mostly. Don't put extraneous spaces before or after your answer. This answer is not case sensitive. All 5 hints point to the same answer that we are looking for. They're going to get progressively easier. Because the leaderboard is so tight, I am going to buzz through clue 1 and clue 2 to give people the most opportunity to get points. Let's see. The other thing I'm going to do, you're just going to have to deal with it, is I'm going to crank up the thinking music. All right. Here we go. Clue 1 of the Answer Fast round. I am the largest of my kind, and I began in 1924. I am tied for second oldest with one like me that takes place in Detroit. The oldest by 4 years is the one in Philadelphia. What am I? Largest of my kind began in 1924. I am tied for the second oldest with one like me that takes place in Detroit. The oldest by 4 years is the one in Philadelphia. I'm going to hide this one, and I'm going to go to clue number 2, which is part of my spectacle didn't come about until 1969, when a man named Manfred Bass began designing one of my most iconic elements. One of his claw hammers sits in the Hoboken Historical Museum. So once again, part of the spectacle didn't come about until 1969, when a man named Manfred Bass began designing one of my most iconic elements. One of his claw hammers sits in the Hoboken Historical Museum. All right, on to clue number 3. Originally near my end, large balloons used to be released into the air, but after a pilot nearly crashed in 1932 trying to retrieve one, my sponsor discontinued the practice. So, what am I? Originally near my end, large balloons used to be released into the air, but after a pilot nearly crashed in 1932 trying to retrieve one, my sponsor discontinued the practice. What am I? Clue number 4. In 1997, Kathleen Carana spent 24 days in a coma after being hit by a light pole, knocked over by a 6-story tall Cat in the Hat balloon that was part of me. What am I? In 1997, Kathleen Carana spent 24 days in a coma after being hit by a light pole, knocked over by a 6-story tall Cat in the Hat balloon that was part of me. What am I? Answer fast, final clue. My bad. Answer fast, final clue. I am an annual November celebration named after a famous New York department store. I generally contain huge balloons and floats, and in 2019, I included 26 floats, 16 giant helium character balloons, 11 marching bands, and probably Ryan Seacrest. What am I? It rhymes with Spaceys. It happens the morning of the day that many people cook large meals consisting of turkey and mashed potatoes. All right, that's probably good. I'm going to guess all your answers are in. And of course, we are talking about, wait, you know what? Let's make thinking music go away. Goodbye, thinking music. We are talking about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. We would have accepted Macy's Day Parade, Macy's Parade, Thanksgiving Day Parade, Macy's Day, Thanksgiving, Macy's Parade. And of course, the final float of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade always features Santa Claus and heralds the start of the Christmas season. And that is the end of the game. Whew. All right. What are we waiting for? We are waiting for Richard's funky outro music. Boom. That is it for Triviamatic Happy Hour. Oh, wait, you know what? Let's do the leaderboard first. Then I'll do the fancy ending. JMH, your winner, 1300. Congratulations. Cetacean Agent, 1283. Second place, Garrus Vicarian, 1264. Your top three. Benedict Cumberbatch in fourth. Crudivore in fifth. Nakama 6. Who Dis Condescending. I Am the Lurex. Tweedle Beetle Battle round out your top 10. Richard, drop the funky music. That is it for Triviamatic Happy Hour. Please join us again any night of the week at 8 p.m. Eastern with hosts Craig Reed, Ethan T. Berlin, Kim Roth, the new guy, Tommy Dickey, or me. Thanks again to John Chinesky, knower of all things, for running the chat. For everybody here at Triviamatic, thanks for playing tonight. Everybody be safe, be kind, be patient, and in words of the noted philosopher Bill S. Preston, be most excellent to each other. Good night.